Welcome back to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into something that hold a pretty special place for a lot of listeners.
Definitely a fan favorite.
We're talking Kanye West's track Champion from the album Graduation, of course. An album, everyone remembers for that brighter, more uplifting kind of sound.
Yeah, real shift in his discography at the time.
So we've gathered up the sources you sent in. There was that really active Reddit thread on our Kanye, the Wikipedia page for the song, and the Genius lyrics page too.
Lots to dig into there.
Exactly. So our mission today is to really unpack what these sources tell us about Champion. Like, what's the story behind it? What was he exploring? And why does it still connect?
Right. Where do we start?
Okay, let's dive in. What do these sources reveal first? Maybe the foundation.
Yeah. Got to start with the backbone. The sample.
Mm-hmm.
All the sources point straight to it. It's Kid Charlemagne by Steely Dan.
Legendary band.
Totally. And that original track, it dropped back in '76. So you get a sense of the history Kanye was tapping into there.
And this is where the story gets kind of wild, right? Pulling this from Wikipedia and Genius, getting that sample cleared wasn't, straightforward.
Not at all. He apparently took a really personal route.
He wrote a handwritten letter. Seriously.
Directly to Donald Fagen and Walter Becker.
Wow.
And the sources, they really highlight this letter. The reason seems to be it was genuinely touching because Kanye explained the song was really personal for him. It was about his dad.
His relationship with his father. Yeah, I saw that. Imagine being Fagen or Becker, these jazz rock icons, getting a handwritten note from Kanye West.
Right. Asking to sample your track for a song about his dad.
Wikipedia mentions Fagen was kind of skeptical at first, thought maybe it was a prank or something.
Yeah, it wasn't immediately sold. But that personal touch, the letter itself, seems like it made the difference.
It really shows the effort he'd put in for a sample he connected with.
Absolutely. So musically, how did the sources describe it? It's hip-hop, obviously, but there's more going on.
Yeah, they mention electro, R&B, and you can definitely hear those jazz, rock, and pop bits from the original Steely Dan track.
And the production choices are interesting, too. It uses those bright synths instead of, say, horns.
Right, and those really crisp 808 hand claps. That sound is so distinct.
Mm-hmm. And that repeated, hey, exclamation that just kind of pops up.
Critics definitely noticed all that. Looking at the Wikipedia reception section, you see people like Jake Boyer saying it packs a hell of a lot in for a short song.
Yeah, it's under 3 minutes, right?
Just about.
Yeah.
And James Paletti said the sample proved, we'll never tire of Kanye's way with sampling.
High praise. And Jesse Mann pointed to it as just, prime Kanye sampling skill.
For sure. And who actually produced it?
Sources list Kanye himself, along with Brian Alday Miller.
Yeah.
They crafted that specific sound together.
Okay, so the sound is built on this amazing sample, clever production, but the song obviously means more. Let's get into the lyrics, the message.
Yeah, what was he trying to say? Wikipedia mentions Kanye called it a theme song for the people.
A theme song for the people. I like that.
And that really ties into the main theme that comes up everywhere. His relationship with his father, Ray West.
Right. The lyrics seem pretty specific about that.
They really paint a picture, like referencing his dad's entrepreneurial side, calling his ideas a harebrained scheme, which sounds, kind of ambitious, maybe a bit wild.
Yeah. Yeah, but then it contrasts that with how dedicated his dad was, right? Making sure Kanye had what he needed.
Exactly. Like that line about getting new clothes for school. Genius and Reddit mentioned, I ain't saying we was from the projects, but every time I wanted it, layaway or deposit.
My dad say, when you see clothes, close your eyelids.
Yeah. And there was a Reddit user who really picked up on that. They saw it as kind of a rags to riches feel, even if they weren't dirt poor. The point was the father's effort.
Using layaway or deposit, yeah, that speaks volumes about making things work.
Yeah.
Providing for your kid.
It really highlights that determination, that love.
Makes sense. And then there's that super famous line, the Will Smith one.
Oh, yeah. We were sort of like Will Smith and his son. In the movie, I ain't talking about the rich ones.
The Reddit thread was even trying to figure out which movie. It's The Pursuit of Happiness, right?
That's the consensus, yeah. Which fits perfectly. Father and son overcoming hardship, not about being wealthy, adds another layer to that perseverance theme.
Totally. But didn't someone else claim they wrote that line?
Yeah, consequence. Wikipedia mentions he claimed he wrote that specific line.
Huh. Interesting.
It is. It just kind of touches on how collaborative songwriting can be in hip-hop, Who gets credit for what isn't always simple. A little detail from Wikipedia there.
Beyond the dad stuff, though, there's this really strong motivational feel. That definitely came through on Reddit.
Oh, absolutely. That line, when it feel like living's harder than dying,
Mm-hmm.
For me, giving up's way harder than trying.
Yes. That one hit hard for people there. Commenters like the Dabby Dabby and Risky Roth,
Mhm.
they really highlighted how relatable that felt. Just pure perseverance.
It's such a powerful way to put it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Flipping the script on giving up.
totally. And another line that got people talking on Reddit was the Lauryn Hill one.
Right. Lauryn Hill said her heart was in Zion. I wish her heart still was in Ryman.
What's the context there again? Genius and Wikipedia explain it, right?
Yeah, basically Kanye wishing she was still focused on making music at that point, wanting her back in the game creatively.
And users like Prophet of Shit and Noda Pro Fisherman on Reddit said that was one of their favorite lines. Shows how those kind of meta commentary lines landed too.
Mm-hmm. And the sources also mention Kanye seeing himself as a motivator, visiting schools, the institute, inspiring kids.
Especially maybe kids who felt overlooked, like dropouts.
Exactly. That line, they used to feel invisible.
Hmm.
Now they know they invincible. That really captures that empowerment message woven through the song.
And bringing it full circle, that actual champion hook from the Steely Dan sample. Did you realize that you were a champion in their eyes?
Yeah. And the bridge vocals, too, from Tony Williams and Connie Mitchell.
Mm.
This is the story of a champion. Tell me what it takes to be Noah 1.
Those aren't just hooks. They really drive home that motivational message, make it feel like an anthem.
So, solid sound, powerful lyrics.
Mm.
How did people actually react when it came out?
Sources say reception was like overwhelmingly positive. Wikipedia summarizes critics praising the sample, the lyrics about his dad, the whole bright production.
Makes sense. And what about the fans? That Reddit thread sounds like it was glowing.
Oh, completely. Just scrolling through, the praise is universal in that discussion. Like user Hoborvat called it probably the most feel-good song on Kanye's most feel-good album.
That's saying something for graduation.
Right. And Shooter McGavin just said, it will lift your mood anytime. Simple as that.
And someone woke up to it every day.
Yeah, Zurich Zancax said the song I wake up to every day, if only because of how happy it is. It clearly hit an emotional chord.
But what's interesting is, how did that translate when people tried to rank it on the album?
Yeah, the Reddit thread got into that. Where does Champion fit next to giants like Stronger or Flashing Lights or Good Life? And the opinions were kind of all over the place.
Really? Some put it high, some lower.
Exactly. Some users, like Shooter McGavin and that Zarek Zanxax user, had it way up there, top 5, even number 1.
Okay, super fans.
But then others, like Risky Rolf, Twilight Eye Galaxy, Prophet of Shit, they loved it, but ranked it a bit lower. Felt maybe it got overshadowed by the bigger hits on Graduation.
Which leads right into that overrated, underrated, just right question they discuss.
Yeah, and it's telling that so many people landed on underrated.
Oh, really?
Hoborvat, Shooter McGavin, Risky Raffle, Zurich Zanxax, Logic Nuke, Noda Per Fisherman, they all kind of felt that even though everyone loves it, it doesn't get the props it deserves compared to the big singles.
Interesting. So lots of love, but a feeling it's still slept on a bit within the album context. Did anyone think it was just right?
Just one we saw, Twilight Eye Galaxy. So that underrated feeling seems pretty strong among that group.
Why do you think that is? A beloved song makes people feel good. Why underrated?
Well, maybe the charts play a role. Its commercial performance was decent, but not, like, #1 single huge. Wikipedia says it peaked at 99 on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart.
99.
Yeah.
But wasn't there something special about how it charted?
Yes. Crucial detail from Wikipedia. It was the only track from Graduation to chart without being released as a single.
Okay, so that 99 was purely from album plays and maybe some organic radio spins. No big push.
Exactly, which shows real organic popularity. But maybe because it wasn't a massive top 10 hit like Stronger, some fans feel its impact gets downplayed.
That makes sense. Still, it got certified, didn't it?
Oh yeah, big time. Wikipedia and Genius say it's platinum in the US, that's over 1 million units. And silver in the UK, 200,000 units.
And those certifications came much later, right?
Right.
Not right after release.
Right. Platinum in September 2020, silver in December 2023. Shows it has legs. People kept streaming and downloading it long after 2007.
So you got this platinum song, charted organically, clearly loved, yet fans in that thread are still calling it underrated.
It's a weird dynamic. Maybe it's placement. It's track 2, right? And it's pretty short. Under 3 minutes. Maybe in a full album listen, it feels less monumental than some other tracks, even if people love it on its own.
Could be. It's definitely a fascinating discussion point.
And Champion definitely had a life beyond just being track 2 on the album.
For sure. The music video, for starters,
Right.
directed by Nabil Elderkin.
The puppet one.
Exactly. Filmed at the high school, stars this hand puppet Kanye in an Olympic-style race, the Unified Games.
Showing his training the victory.
Yep.
It totally reinforces the song's themes. That came out August 2008, Wikipedia says.
And he performed it live, too.
Right, part of that medley on Saturday Live in September '07, right when the album dropped.
And it stayed in the set list. It was part of the big glow-in-the-dark tour in 2008.
Yeah, people definitely got to experience it live. And didn't other artists cover it or remix it?
Sources mention Chaos, the Canadian artist, did an acoustic cover for Triple J's, like a version back in Feb '08. And there was a Nick Catchdubs remix on that Sky High mixtape from DJ Benzie and Plain Pat.
So it definitely inspired other people, too.
Clearly resonated beyond just being a Kanye track on Graduation. It
Wow.
became something people engaged with.
Wow. What a journey, just unpacking this one song. We've gone from that iconic Steely Dan sample, the whole handwritten letter story.
To the really personal lyrics about his dad, mixed with that broader motivational message.
Seen the positive vibes from critics and fans, dove into that whole underrated debate on Reddit.
And tracked its life through the puppet video and live shows. It's a lot for one track.
At its core, though, all the sources kind of agree. Champion is this feel-good anthem. It's about overcoming stuff, inspired by his own life, meant to lift others up.
Yeah, people definitely connect with the feeling, the message, the sound.
So thinking about all this, what does this deep dive mean for you listening? How do you connect with the champion? Is it that motivational kick? Does that perseverance message hit home like it did for those Reddit users?
And reflecting on that underrated discussion, it does leave you wondering, doesn't it? Here's this platinum song, charted organically, beloved for its positive energy, yet a good chunk of fans feel it's overshadowed on its own album.
Yeah, why do you think that is? Is it the length? Track placement? Just the sheer power of the other singles on Graduation?
It makes you think about all the subtle things, beyond just sales or reviews, that shape how we remember a song, where it sits in music history, and our own personal rankings. What really defines its legacy?